What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Coffee with Dudes. Today it is just Coffee with Dude. Nice little solo episode here with myself. Appreciate you all every week watching and listening. Again, we are on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, really anywhere you get your podcasts. And today, what I wanted to talk about is something that I think a lot of us struggle with. I know I struggle with this a lot, can lead to us not getting the results that we want to get in a lot of different areas of our life, whether that's health and fitness, relationships, career, everything. That's self comparison. So, like when we constantly compare ourselves to others, or I guess it wouldn't be called self comparison, just comparing ourselves to others, it, you know, I constantly struggle with this. And so I wanted to talk about today just some science based tips that I found here that we can all use. This is some of the podcasts that I like to do, like on the solo side of things, are stuff that I'm thinking about at the time because I struggle with this in my career, where it's like it's in a sales role. So I think in some respect, like knowing what other people are doing and like wanting to be the best and wanting to strive to get better is good. But when you're constantly like looking at what people are doing, it's like, fuck, like now I gotta do better. I think there's a certain point to where that becomes detrimental. And then health and fitness, huge thing where it's like we see all of these people on Instagram, YouTube that are in just incredible shape. And I know, just like being in the space for a long period of time, a lot of times what we're seeing is we're seeing the highlight reels. It's like Instagram, you see the highlight reels, not, there's no way that everybody's always that happy and that much enjoying life. Like a lot of people will put out the best times, which is cool. I mean, you can do that. But if you always think that this person always looks like this 24/7, 365 with the shredded abs in such good shape, you're wrong. They probably had great lighting. They're post workout, like, so they're, they got a pump going. And a lot of times we can compare ourselves to that and think that we need to strive to get to that point. Or like a lot of these people, or at least some of these people, are telling you they do a certain thing that they don't do. Like to get in certain amounts of shape, we need to be enhanced, right? We need extra testosterone, steroids, stuff like that, that helps us to get to a place where we wouldn't be able to get naturally. And so that's something that you need to understand there. But I just want to go through some of the top things according to science when it comes to being able to stop, or like it says, soften the unhealthy comparison that a lot of us do. And so number one is shift to self comparison. And this is a really, really good one. So comparing your current self to your past self. And I've talked about this before, but this is a great thing to look at every once in a while, of like how far you've come, and remind yourself that you're doing great. And so this is a huge thing where, if you can write down like three things, or track your own growth, right? So a lot of times people will do journaling. A huge thing is that I know both Matt and myself have done in our coaching is progress photos, body measurements. So when you're talking about health and fitness and moving towards goals, that's an easy way. You put side by side. I would do this with clients a lot in the past, and it's like you get the first photo, and then it's like comparing it to the most recent photo, and you'll be able to see stuff in that you wouldn't necessarily see with yourself in the mirror day by day, because we see ourselves every day. It's harder to see these small changes that we can see when we actually put two side by side photos together. Tracking numbers, I mean, like that's a huge thing too. It's like, just an example, let's say in sales job you have like a certain amount of volume that you can track, like this month versus last month, or this year versus last year, and like be able to see like the different progress that you've made over time. And instead of comparing your numbers to somebody else's, or your progress in health and fitness somebody else's, compare it versus yourself and try to grow that way. So that is a huge one. Number two says practice gratitude. Just a fantastic thing. I don't need to go extremely deep into this one. We've talked about it a lot on the podcast. Just remembering that like every day is it's amazing. You're fortunate to wake up. A lot of times, just, this is more me speaking for myself. Like I can get caught up in my own life, and like, God, it's like, oh, this, certain things suck, and I want this to change, and poor me. And it's like, if I look at my life versus, most people's, it's like, this is a fantastic life. Like, there's a lot of people that live in areas where they don't have as much access to food and water and different things that we can easily take for granted. If, shelter, like some people are homeless, right? I got a roof over my head. I can drive a vehicle. It runs, right? I don't have a problem paying for groceries and different things that Marissa and I have. Being able to travel, there's a lot of stuff, and so like if we can kind of take a step back and not compare, like think about the things that are lacking, but more or less think about the things that we already have and that we're fortunate for. It's a huge shift that can really help us move forward. Number 3 says curate your environment, especially social media. So research shows that social media intensifies upward comparison, especially on image heavy platforms. And so this is, I talked about a little bit of this. Like we can, it's so easy to be like, oh fuck, like I don't look, like I don't look good. Like this person looks so good. Like, God, what do I got to do to look like that? Um, but then again, like it's like we're fighting our own journey here. Like we're all in different places, and the thing is like some people have different lifestyles. People have different things going on. They have different levels of busyness. It's just never going to benefit any of us to compare ourselves to other people, because there's so many different factors that go on. We don't know the whole story behind it. They could be miserable for all we know, right? And maybe we wouldn't actually want that body because we don't want what goes into getting that body, or we don't want like the feelings that are associated with whatever they're going through. So like it's a good thing. It says unfollow accounts that trigger envy. Follow people who inspire learning, authenticity, or realistic representation. It's a great thing to do. And I think that social media can really affect us in negative ways and in a lot of different ways. And so it's something that I want to do, is like get a little bit farther away from social media and not spend as much time on it. That's going to be something I want to try to work towards. Number 4 on this list says reframe comparison as inspiration. It's a good one. Like kind of be like, it's like when we think about, so sometimes we can get jealous, but this is a good question that it says is like, instead of, having jealousy or doing those things, ask yourself, what can I learn from this person that could help me? So like taking things from these people that we're trying to compare ourselves to. And maybe kind of a way I could tweak that is like kind of look at where you're at, right? And like just like in my portion of this journey, maybe you're working towards something like that. Like you see somebody who's in fantastic shape and you want to get in the best shape of your life. Well, we can't jump a million steps, but what can you take from them that's going to apply to where you're at in your journey and move you a little bit closer to where you want to be? I think that'd be a great way to do it. Number 5 is build self-compassion, positive self-talk, just really reminding yourself like that you're doing great, giving yourself grace, understanding that our journeys are going to take a little bit longer than maybe we would like it to, right? It's I dealt with this a lot in coaching, where it was people want to be to their fat loss goal like snap of a finger, right? But the nature of it is like we didn't get out of shape in a short period of time. It's going to take us a long time to get back in shape, especially if we're doing it the right way, in a way that we're actually going to keep the results. And so understand that like our journeys are like they're not short. Like it's and so we want to make sure that we're really cheering ourselves on, being our own cheerleader, giving ourselves grace throughout the journey. It's going to help a lot towards the setbacks, right? It's so easy to set ourselves back, but then again, you're also like being compassionate with yourself, and so it's going to help a lot with not getting sucked in as much to those the comparison game. Then a few more here to wrap it up. Number 6 says limit social rankings mindset. And so the psychology of zero-sum thinking, or seeing success as finite, worsens comparisons. And so recognizing that life is not a competition can reduce your stress. So work to celebrate others' wins, not taking away from your potential. Like we can all win in this journey. It's easy to compare and, get into a time when maybe you like don't cheer other people on because you're like, you feel like that's taking away from your results. But in the end, there's a lot, like everybody can win. everybody can win, whether that's in your career, whether that's in like health and fitness. Like my journey does not affect your journey. We are we both can move together. We can both help each other if we want to, but that's a really good one that I think I can probably do a little better with too. And then last one says engage in flow activities. And so the research on flow shows that deep engagement reduces self-consciousness and social evaluation. So that's good. And so it just says prioritize hobbies, workouts, projects that allow you to lose track of time. This is a good reminder. I think that I've been on social media and like doing all of that like way too much and just using it to fill time, right? It's like, when you get bored, I struggle personally when I get bored. Like when I don't have things to do, like I try to fill time. It's like I need something to do. Like my mind needs something to do. And so then I can end up like filling the time with like things that don't necessarily make me feel good, or they're just not productive things, right? It's like social media is fine in doses, but if we're like consuming hours a day of Instagram videos and YouTube videos, it's just not gonna like make us feel very good. And also it's like that's more time where we're like seeing things that maybe like we see more lack, where it's like, oh wow, I want this life. And you can start to focus on the lack that you have instead of the amazing things that are already in your life. So hopefully this has helped out. This has helped me out. I'm definitely going to take some of these tips and use them in my day. Again, I like to just kind of come at some of these episodes from a lens of things that I'm trying to work on and things that I've noticed. And so, one thing I'm really going to try to do from this is try to engage more in hobbies in my free time and maybe pick up a new hobby. I've actually played around with the idea of maybe trying to learn the guitar, learn an instrument, or like do something new and try to invest my time in that when I have free time and when I'm bored, to fill those gaps as opposed to diverting myself to social media. So I'll keep everybody posted on that journey. But I do really, really appreciate, and Matt, I know I can speak for Matt, we both appreciate you guys all watching and listening to the pod every single week, whether that's on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. We drop them every Tuesday, Thursday from 6 a.m. At 6 a.m. Pacific time. So I mean, I'm in the Mountain Time zone technically, but we're in Arizona. We don't abide by daylight savings, and so we're in the Pacific time during the summer, and then in the winter time we go to Mountain Time zone. And so that's where you can watch it every single week. And if this was helpful for you, this is a good one that I think can help a lot of people. So if you do have somebody in your life that you could share this with, that would really help us out. Hopefully it helped them out as well. Otherwise, we do really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll be talking to you soon.